Welcome back, everyone, to Mindful Leadership Beyond Borders. I am Betska, the Guru Coach, together with Raj Vashisht from India. I'm from Canada, and our guest is from Switzerland. This is Paloma Baertschi, who is an incredible, renowned animal communicator and teacher of animal communication. So any of you who would love to learn deeper beyond what we're doing here today, please contact her. Now, during the pause, Raj was mentioning that, animal people are very caring, very loving, very compassionate. And, where would we be without them? Our lives would be pretty boring without animal people, right? Without our pets.
Very dull.
Very dull.
When I was school and college, I spent hour and hour with my cow, my cat. I slept with my cow in farmhouse, and the
Yeah.
dog and cats. I love it, that moment.
Oh, wow. Yeah, to me they're very special, and having you here with us today, Paloma, is very special because animal people are so loving, so kind, so compassionate, and they really want to talk to us. Some of them, not all of them, but many of them do. And so let's talk about what actually happens during animal communication, like thoughts, images, feelings. You've given us some, but what additional information can you give us? What actually happens?
Yeah, there is an exchange of information, and the base of all that are really the feelings. So humans have feelings, animals have feelings, and we have the same feelings. And here we have the vocabulary, a common vocabulary, the feelings, and we can communicate through our feelings. And our feelings are vibrations. So every feeling is a vibration on a certain frequency. And the frequency is always the same, whether a human feels it or an animal feels it. And we can communicate on that level. And we basically, animals and humans resonate. So when we resonate, then we have this connection that we can exchange our feelings.
So when you're communicating with an animal, when they are talking to you, are you hearing them in words? Are you hearing with them in images, or are you hearing with them in feelings? Like, how do you get the information from them, or does it differ by
Yeah,
every animal
it
person is
actually
different?
differs. Yeah, it's not always the same. Some
Ah,
animals, with some animals, I get words, like with my animal mentor Spot, I get words.
yes.
And then with other animals, I get images, I get pictures, I get feelings, I get emotions. Um, it's so different, and it depends not on the animal. So not is it a dog, a cat, a horse? So it depends on the animal itself, on the personality. Every animal communicates in a different way. It's like communicating with people. Not everybody speaks the same way. Not everybody has the same
True. Language.
vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
not the same language. And so it's different. And it's the same with animals.
Yeah. Have you ever encountered some animals not wanting to talk to you? If someone hires you to talk to their animal person, do you ever encounter that the animals don't want to talk?
Usually, when they don't want to talk, it's not that they don't want to talk, it's that I don't get a connection to them, but that's
Okay.
mostly because then they're in shock. You cannot communicate with an animal in shock.
Okay.
So I remember once I had a phone call from a woman, a client of mine, saying she was so nervous, and you could hear in her voice, something had happened. She said, "Can you communicate with my dog right now? Please communicate with my dog right now." And I go like, "Whoa, whoa, what has happened?" And she said, "Well, it ran away. It has been missing for, can't remember how long. It had been missing for a while. And now I found him. He's back in the car and he is shivering.
Mm.
So what's the problem?" And I go
Right.
like, okay, I cannot connect with your animal. I'm sorry. First of all, you have to calm down yourself, get into the
Yeah.
car, drive home, calm down, make sure the dog calms down as well. And then lots of communication with the dog, maybe tomorrow
Right.
or later in the evening when everything is calm again, and then we can talk.
Yeah. Have a cup of chamomile tea.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of something like that. Yes.
Now
Calm down.
I'm taking different version. Rose leaf tea.
Rose leaf tea. Yeah, of course. Anything like that would be
I'm,
great.
I'm
Yeah.
drinking rose leaf
Anything that
tea.
calms down. Yeah.
Hmm. So, gosh, I mean, I could spend the whole day listening to your stories, but what is one simple step people can take today to start? They have a pet, for example, a horse or a cat or a dog or lizard, fish, whatever, right? Oh,
Yeah.
before we do that, are there some animal people that are um, less likely to communicate, like a fish versus a dog, or can they all communicate equally?
They can all communicate easily if they want to. But
Okay.
there are, and like in humans, there are animals that are shy,
Yeah.
and there are, like very extrovert animals that you
Hmm.
can't stop them from
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
So they want to tell you everything. Others, you have to be really careful, ask the right questions, see how you can get the information.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't depend whether it's a fish or a dog or whatever. It really, it's their personality, and you can have
Okay.
all kinds of personalities in all kinds of animals.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really good to know. Um,
But then also there are animals that don't really have a big connection to humans. And then obviously when you want to talk to them, some of them are a bit skeptical. And
you
I
mean like
have
a
talked.
tiger? Like you mean like a tiger or a lion?
Well, no, they are, well, yes, some of them, don't really like humans necessarily if they have been hunted or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
But I've even talked to animals who didn't know what a human was.
They didn't know what a human was? What?
No, yeah. I asked them, "What do you think of humans? What is a human?" And they were like, "Oh, okay." Ah!
Well, I mean, was this a wild animal or what?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
wasn't an animal that lives with humans,
Yeah.
obviously. It
Yeah.
was an
Yeah.
it was an animal that lives, in
In the
the
wild.
wild, and
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really have any connection with humans.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually didn't know. Oh, but one
Interesting.
thing that is also very interesting is that if you communicate with an animal, and if you don't tell the animal that you are a human, and if the animal doesn't know you, they don't know that you're a human.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is.
Wow.
I,
Oh
I mean,
my God.
I once talked to a friend's cat, and I told the cat that I was coming to visit. And then I communicated with the cat and I told her, "Oh, I'm actually downstairs. I'm coming up now." So I went upstairs, rang, at the door,
Mm-hmm.
and my friend opens the door and she goes like, this is so strange. My cat usually runs away as soon as she hears the
Doorbell.
doorbell.
Yeah.
And she's actually standing in the middle of the living room. She's sort of waiting for something. And I go like, yeah, I had told her that I was coming. So here I come into the living room and I say hi to the cat, also telepathically, verbally and telepathically. This cat looks at me, with big eyes and goes like, "You're not a cat."
Oh, I
Turns
knew you were going
around,
to say that.
turns around, runs into the bedroom, wasn't seen for the rest of the evening.
That's really so. Wow, that's a very important point, right? You have
Yeah,
to tell
so
them that
that's
you're
where
a human. Yeah.
that's where when I realized when you're talking to an animal that you don't know, so because you're maybe talking to an animal through a picture,
Yeah.
so you get a
Okay.
picture of an animal, you connect with that animal. That animal doesn't know that you're a human unless you tell it.
Right on. Wow.
I once was talking
Incredible.
to a cat, a male cat, and we were talking about cats, and he was telling me about the hot cats. And he goes like, "You know what I mean by hot cats, don't you?" And I go like, "Yep, I'm one of those hot cats." But I'm a two-legged hot cat.
That's really funny.
So he was
Oh,
actually thinking I was a male cat like he was.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's hilarious. So listen, love all your stories and all this information is great. And I'm sure our viewers are going to say, well, what's the first simple step that I can take to start? What would you suggest, Paloma?
First of all, get in a calm state. So you
Okay.
cannot connect or communicate if you are altered, if you're stressed, if you are under
Agitated. Yeah.
pressure, activate. Yeah, you just, it's not going to work. So really, first thing is you have to relax, you have to get calm. And then I explain how you can connect with your animal, but if you don't want to do that because it sounds too complicated, the first thing you can do is you can feel your animal in your heart. So
Ah.
feel your animal in your heart. That's usually pretty easy because you love your animal. So hopefully you have an animal, you love your animal. So you feel it in your heart. And then once you feel it in your heart, you can, maybe ask a question and then intuitively, feel what comes up first.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, and it's something very subtle, it's not, usually animal communication is not loud and doesn't come with a lot of energy and woo
Right.
woo, like
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Right.
it's a very um
Soft.
it's soft voice,
Yeah, yeah.
that you might that you might feel, or a very soft feeling that is, just beneath the surface. And that's why it is so important to be quiet and to be calm, because otherwise you're not going to hear it.
Mm. Yes, exactly. That's wonderful. Um, and another question is, what should people stop doing if they want to connect more clearly with their animals, with their pets? Oh, that's such a good question, right? What should they stop doing?
um, Thinking you know the answer.
Ah,
A
good
lot of
answer.
people think they know the answer why the animal is doing what they're doing. Well, that's your story. That's what I said at the beginning. That's your story. You're making up a
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Forget about the story.
Mm,
Let your animal tell you the real story.
right, right. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Well, Paloma, it's been such a joy again, such a joy to learn from you. My God. And so if people want to go deeper, you've given a few tips, a lot of tips here today. So if they want to go deeper, what do you suggest? What would be the next step?
Well, they can contact me, and
Okay.
usually my courses are in German, but I have given courses in English as well. So
Okay.
if I get, maybe a group of people, two, three people that are interested in learning that, we can
Hmm.
set up a course in English. That's no problem.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it'd be good if you recorded those classes in English and then people could just watch the videos, right? Because that would be amazing. But they could also contact you if they've got a pet and they need to communicate, and that could be
Oh, definitely, yes. If they want to know what their animal is thinking, or if they have
yeah.
a behavioral problem and they cannot
Mm-hmm.
solve it, or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
then yes, they can contact me and we can talk to the animal.
Exactly. And Raj, I want to give you a big hug because I didn't know that you slept with your cow. I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, in the old days, before my time, but in even in Canada, we would have houses, and then the barn was right next door to the house because the animal heat would keep the house warm. I mean, you know, that's how it was in the early days on farms in Canada. So, what a joy! What a
But
joy!
it
So,
was very painful also when I lost my cow
oh
and
yeah,
my cat. So
yeah,
it's very painful, not easy.
no. One of
Yes.
my one of my was it a client? Somebody was telling me that they had um a pet rabbit, and and she was only 8 years old, and the rabbit ended up on their dinner table one day,
Oh no.
and the child was horrified that you know, and her mother was one who killed it. So
Oh
you can
my.
imagine from that day onward, the relationship with the between the child and the mother was not good, you know,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that
because
was a trauma.
yeah, that very big trauma. That was, so
It's a very
anyway,
big cruelty.
oh, massive. Yeah, just massive. So Paloma, keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, definitely. I will.
We love you, and thank you for coming back to share all your tips here today. It was phenomenal. So thank you so much. God
Thank
bless
Thank you
you.
you.
for having me.
Yeah.